Welcome to Secure the Soil, your podcast for everyone who wants to help make the world a greener space, people who care about fixing our food system, people who care about eating healthier, living better, creating legislation, creating policy, creating better systems, working with farmers, working with chefs, working with everybody who just tapped in and working with our community organizers, our community members. I'm excited. This is a reshoot. We have to make sure it's right. I'm here with Robert.
Yes, sir.
Happy to be here, man. Thank you for your
Of
time.
course.
Thank you for making time to redo it with me, man. We got to
Of
make sure this
course.
episode was right. A lot of insight, a lot of information, a lot of game, and it's a good conversation coming from here, man. So once again, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, Robert. Talk to the people, man.
How
I'm
y'all
gonna ask
doing?
you a couple questions.
Of
You
course,
know,
of course. Thank you for having me, first of all. My
yeah,
name is Robert L. Valencia.
yeah.
I'm an active member of the city of Compton,
Mhm,
community member. I volunteer at the Compton Community Garden. I also am an active member of the Compton Run Club.
mhm.
So shout out to Compton.
Yeah, yeah,
We in the house. So much
definitely.
love to the city. I'm also a husband and a father. So
Sure.
it's a little bit about myself.
Yeah, more. What do you do for like? What's your career? What's your trade? What's your
Oh,
interests?
currently I am in, the construction field. I am
Uh,
a finished carpenter.
what's up?
So just doing some trim,
Uh-huh.
doors, windows, stuff like that, man. Just building.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's what it's about. It's about building.
And you into eating healthy,
Eating
living right.
healthy. Oh, correct. So yes, I activate for healthy lifestyles and healthy communities. That's kind of my message to the world.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's dive into that, man. What started you on that journey, man?
Man, well, I'm from the LA County, so growing up in that environment, LA County, you know how it is a hood environment. We
Mhm.
we 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 products of the hood, but you grow up early age partying, drinking, smoking, do your thing, going out at an early age, and kind of just living that LA lifestyle because
Fact,
that's where we're from. That's kind of the norm or the culture.
definitely.
So going through that path, it was a very dark path at a certain point. It's fun. It's all fun and games in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then it leads down to a very dark road, and you start losing friends. To being in gang activities, and also, one thing I didn't realize till I got older, just having, not the right resources of food,
Yeah.
you lose loved ones.
Yeah.
You have people die from. I had my grandmother pass from liver disease, fatty liver disease.
Uh-huh.
So, what's one thing that why I advocate even more for healthy living is I never realized those kind of things affected us.
Uh-huh.
So these things are, detrimental to our community.
Yeah.
So that's just a little of, why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I grew up. You don't really realize these things are in effect.
Yeah. Is there something that specifically like a moment where like a light switch happened or something you saw or something that you tapped into that made you want to make a switch?
Right.
Start the path?
Right. So I would say like around the year 2012, it was real dark moments in my life at that moment.
Uh-huh.
And I was on my knees one day just praying to God. I said to myself, I was like, God, I know you're real. I know you're out there. I believe in you. And I know that in this world, I see a lot of dark, evil things. I'm able to see, the devil's children. I would put it that way. You able to see all the bad folks in the world. I just want to know where's your people at? Where's the righteous people in the world? That was my prayer out to God. So then that same night, I'm on my phone, I'm on YouTube, and that's when I came across Dr. Sebi for the first time. Now, Dr. Sebi, if many people don't know, he's a natural herbalist healer.
Yeah.
Um, And
Rest in peace, Dr. Sebi, for
rest in
real.
peace, Dr. Sebi. He's a very important character that played into the person that I am now.
Yeah.
Yes,
And many of us.
many of us. Yes,
Definitely.
if you in that level of lifestyle, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So seeing Dr. Sebi, I was watching it was a lecture called Eat to Live,
Yeah.
and that was the first time I ever heard of anyone to speak of healing yourself through, um, or just it wasn't really, or he didn't really, he said organic, but it was more like
Alkaline, huh?
but alkaline, but even that was like a little more scientific further down, but he broke it down like this is what God made for us.
Uh-huh.
And then later on I learned about like food that was
Yeah, yeah.
hybrid foods.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he broke down that God made an original form of food for us. And then later on, things got changed up for whatever reason. We could dwell into that later. But hearing that was like an opener for me. Like, wait a minute, there's something we're missing. Uh, and um, and I know another thing that kind of like uh, blew my mind about him was like, here's a man that's carrying people from AIDS and all kind of diseases, and all doing it with just the change of someone's diet and just their lifestyle.
Mhm.
So to me, that was like a answer to my prayers.
Yeah.
I actually I got an answer right away, and that's one thing about when you really put your heart and belief into something, God, whatever that avenue is for you, because I know everyone has different paths to that. Um, it's it was like a light in a spark that went into me,
Yeah.
and it drove me down a path of like doing more research. I ended up finding other herbal healers, like we talked about Layla Africa and many more. I ran into many more
Rest in
other.
peace to him too.
Layla Africa is another, someone that I considered a great teacher to me, a role model, elder that watched many of his lectures. So if you ever in the YouTube, you could look it up and you'll gain plenty of knowledge and wisdom and information from him.
Definitely. Definitely.
And yeah, that's kind of how I got into the whole, path of going into healthy lifestyle.
Mhm. I feel you. I remember when I first heard Dr. Sebi and he was, he's very I wouldn't say he's very arrogant. He was just very like he speak truth to
Mhm.
power. He wasn't afraid to say, "This is what's going on. This is how I feel. This is what I think. This is what I've done." And I remember just listening to him, and I remember like I just started applying. I went and bought some sea moss. I went and bought
Mhm.
diatomaceous earth. I
Yes.
went and bought elderberry and blue vervain. And I was just like, all right, like let me just try to incorporate as much as I could because there's a store in Compton. Shout out to Dr. Paul Goss who has his own store in Compton, and he had a lot of those herbs as well. Like Dr. Paul Goss kind of came around in that same era with Dr. Lady Africa
Mm.
and Dr. Sebi, but Dr. Paul Goss, from what I learned, he made a conscious choice to kind of like stay out the way and not be so public because he saw what the FBI was doing in the 90s. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna get land, I'm gonna grow the herbs, I'm gonna have my little store. I'm not gonna be too vocal and too public.
That's very wise. That's very
you know,
wise because
you know?
Dr. Sebi's mother warned him. He's like, "Hey, they're gonna get you for this. You over here talking about you healing people from AIDS,
Yeah.
and they're gonna get you." And they did. They
And
took him.
he stood on his business, which I
Yeah,
respect what I just said. He stood on. He went to the Supreme Court. He proved like, no, this has been accomplished.
correct.
And I've also heard that's a kind of too. What I've heard, this might be a little conspiracy-ish, but I've heard that that's a part of why they started creating GMOs after those type of things. After
Mm.
he proved that he could heal people, after that, that's when a lot more GMO things started being more brought to the masses. You know what I'm saying? I've also heard of how there was someone who only ate seeded fruit for like when he had cancer,
Mhm.
and then he healed himself of cancer. And once again, like that stuff, Dr. Sebi stuff, because that was all in the 90s, like when we was kids.
Yeah,
And then we didn't really hear, YouTube wasn't invented in the 90s,
correct.
so we wasn't able to get that information. The East Coast may have known about it, other places, but it wasn't like mass information. But then they started creating more GMOs around that time. And I've
Interesting.
heard different things about GMO, how some people say like it was just created for not in a malicious manner, but it is a interesting timeline how Dr. Sebi started, getting people to help cure, like what they say, he's not curing, because curing is a medical term, like helping
Mhm.
people to heal themselves with just changing they like changing their cells.
I would even go as far as to say just going back to your natural self.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
just you're just out of nature.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
better term. You're
Mhm.
not naturally where you need to be, and
Yeah,
that's what's causing the disease.
yeah, yeah.
The diseases come from us not being in our not for one, not having natural food,
Uh-huh.
not having the natural environments.
Stress.
The water's not clean, the
Mhm.
air's not clean, so the radiation. There's so many
Be
things
sitting
that
around on the 405 for 4 hours.
the traffic.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all detrimental to the health.
Yeah.
And
We got these damn nuclear bombs sending microwaves and gamma rays on our body all the time.
hey,
You know what I'm saying? So
it gets deep.
I understand
It
that.
gets deep on so many levels that a lot of us don't even are aware of.
I
We just so it's a norm.
yeah,
We're just born into. We got children with tablets now,
yeah,
and it's just normal.
yeah,
I remember we just going to school and just getting a computer in the schools, and it's like, oh wow, we got a computer
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things is it's like you said. They knew the new generation was coming, and it was gonna get higher and higher because we rising as the more time we go, the
Mhm,
next generation come even better.
mhm.
It's better, just like how the iPhones come with a better phone, or even though sometimes it'd be like seem like the same,
Yeah,
but as us God's creation, we get better and better and better, and then there's forces out there that are out to stop that growth,
definitely.
and we could that's a whole nother topic
I
right
mean,
there, but
I mean, like I said, I know this. No, I know me. I grew up like we grew up, and it's not even any fight to my parents. It's just we grew up eating fast food most of the time.
yeah,
I became a chef because cooking was such a rare thing in my household.
interesting. That's
It was rare till we cooked. So I come from a environment. My mom worked 8, 12-hour shifts. My dad worked, like I said earlier, my dad worked a full-time job and had his own business and was actively involved in the church.
bro.
So, no, my parents wasn't coming home cooking dinner and we sitting around the family eating dinner. My dad would cook like, what you bringing home for dinner? So he stopped and get something to bring home. It was just, like I said, for me, it wasn't like, oh man, something. It was like, first, like that's just what it is. It wasn't even like I didn't view it in a negative, and I still have the most respect for them because that was just them. They have 5 kids by the time they was 35.
Yeah.
And it was just, okay, how do we feed these children and do what we
Right.
gotta do? It wasn't even like,
Oh, let
oh,
me
we don't care. It was just like, man, like my dad, he made us eat supplements and healthy stuff too. But it was just our day-to-day food was just, hey, this is what we gotta do to just keep it going.
yeah, to keep
You know?
survive
Which
and
is like
yeah.
that's the environment to your point. Like that's the environment that's created. Go to work, get off work, come home, recharge enough to go to work. Feed these kids, give them something to eat, which is like it is what it is. But I definitely realized in my 20s, okay, this isn't normal and I have to make a conscious change. You know what I'm saying? I cannot continue to eat like this myself. And I have to be okay with advocating for us to not eat like this, even when it's going to create tension and
Yeah.
even when it might create uncomfortability. I have to be okay with communicating this. And then I have to figure out how to communicate this with grace. And like I was remember talking the last time, because I was studying that all of Dr. Sebi and all of them,
Right.
and I was coming with that approach, that like Africa approach, which is like, that Dr. Africa talk, right?
Yeah,
He
blunt with
talk
it.
he
It just
talked that shit, right? So
exactly.
that wasn't working. So then I learned Dr. Jarwan's Kunjufu, which was a pastor. He was a doctor
Mm,
who was into health and wellness, but he was a pastor. So everything he was communicating came from biblical references.
right.
His book, Satan, I'm Taking Back My Health, it was saying all of the same things. Dr. Sebi, not only Africa, but it was coming from a Christian perspective
There you go.
of, like you said, this is what God wants for us. And
Exactly.
this is what the devil is doing to us. This is what Satan is robbing us of our health. God made wheatgrass. God made these natural things. God made seed fruit. God made all these minerals and vitamins. God made all of this, and we have to, as Christians, tap into what God made and not let Satan deceive us from being malnourished. So that helped me to have the conversation better with people,
Exactly.
and which allowed me to now I'm able to be more impactful. But I still had all of the same fire from Dr. Sebi,
You just had to bring it a different way because it will push people off once you hit them, because there's a lot of things that I say and I have to like bring it back, like,
Uh-huh,
hold on, you're
uh-huh.
gonna it might push people away from hearing it in that form.
Yeah.
So you have to, kind of like water it
Uh-huh.
down, or bring it from a different perspective that it's easier to understand for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Definitely, you hit the nail on the head with that.
Which is I learned that's okay to plant that seed because sometimes you do got to shock, but we do got to find that balance of okay, yeah, we hit them over the head, but also here goes, hey, I love you, man. I care about this. I
Yeah.
care. That's like the essence is I care. So how do I make sure that they know that I care while still being like, nah, man, some tough love. So shout out to all the elders, man, who
Yes.
came before us, like even Dr. Paul Goss, Dr. Ross, my personal mentor, my personal
Yes.
teacher, who taught me a lot about eating healthy, taught me how to grow food, even taught you how to grow food as well.
Exactly.
We'd be remiss without honoring, the elders who definitely um developed us, groomed us, informed us, educated us, changed our life. We wouldn't be here today without the elders, man.
And they put themselves on the line because a lot of people would attack them for
Yeah,
this type of information, for even
definitely.
bringing this out. Like, oh, you're not a real doctor.
Yeah.
They get a lot of backlash. It wasn't just like, oh, okay, you come with information, you're accepted. They got a lot of backlash and,
Yeah.
and pushed to the back. And I don't want them around because they're not speaking what was taught in our medical
Man.
schools, and they're talking crazy, and oh, that's pseudoscience.
Yeah.
And if you really just sit back and think about it, what they're saying is just so it's truth, because it's like how is it wrong to say I would rather eat fruit that has seed, which is its natural form, than I want a fruit with no seeds,
Uh-huh.
but you can't regrow that. How is that natural? Is Plants are meant to be grow again and procreate,
Uh-huh.
and keep it going for the next season.
Uh-huh.
And for somebody to just, because we can talk about like Monsanto and how they make patents on seeds,
Mhm.
and now it's like, hey, you got to only buy it from us. It's like, if you can't see the wickedness in that, you need to let me do the glasses, because how could you not see
They
that it's a game?
they see
Like
that
Dick Gregory used to say,
they see
it's
that
a game.
he was big into health awareness too.
Yeah.
Big
So
into
shout out to him.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So I gotta I know you have mentioned you have hit me with a bar about you have the 3Ds, right?
Correct.
That's kind of like a framework for you, right? What is your 3Ds? Right?
I That's for me, the 3Ds is um 3Ds is detach,
Uh-huh.
detox,
Uh-huh.
and
Deprogram, right?
deprogram. There you go.
Deprogram. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
drew a blank because I was detach,
He just walked by and threw us off the vibes.
3Ds: detach, detox, and
Uh-huh.
deprogram. So just to break that down a little bit, you detaching yourselves from things that no longer serve you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you don't need to go down a certain path in life, or be hanging around certain people that, like, let's say you're trying to eat healthy, go to the gym. You don't want to be hanging around people that's out in the corner drinking 40s
Mhm.
and going to get some fast food right after. So that's the way you detach. You detox by getting rid of all the things in your body that uh, are, bringing toxins into your body, whether that be the junk food, sugar, uh, drugs, alcohol. You want to detox from all that. And also the deprogramming is things that we have learned that have programmed our minds and because our mind is what's going to lead our life.
Mhm.
So if you learn the wrong way, you got to deprogram that and learn the right way. Because a lot of us think, oh, that we do certain things and we think, oh, this is the norm, or
Mhm.
this is how life is, but it's not. That's how we were taught. We also got to remember, like no bash to going to school, or none of that. You know, school is easy. You should be going to school and getting straight A's. I'll tell you that right now. School is easy. You should be passing school. But also know that like when they teach us history,
Mhm.
you know, they'll say, "Oh, Columbus discovered America and he was a great man," but they don't tell you like he slaughtered women, children,
Mhm.
and took land, and they don't tell you all these
Mhm.
things and say, "Hey, they stole from our ancestors." They don't clarify that. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you have to learn on your own, and that's kind of where the deprogramming comes from.
Definitely a lot of indoctrination
There you
in
go.
the public
And
school system.
there you go. So you have to unindoctrinate
It's funny.
yourself.
It's this TikTok where this guy breaks down English. He be like, you know, he can write 3 words and be like, you don't see how these words are different. It's funny, but it be showing like the English language is crazy. Like the more we got indoctrinated with the English language as children,
Yes,
so we think this shit is normal, but it is not. This language is backwards. It don't make no sense. So I think that's even a part of
mm,
how deep the indoctrination go of like we have learned a backwards, confusing language that we in our mind place as the norm or the top. And
correct,
that's a lot of other stuff well, for our history, context, a lot of those other things. You know how I go like we even learning this calendar system to me is super witchcraft. It's that's so programming of how we learned to call the middle of the year, July, which is off of, Julius Caesar. That's July.
correct.
It's the 7th month for the 12 years.
Even like
He want to be the center of attention. And Augustus is the 8th month, and we want to call it, off of Augustus Caesar.
August,
We still calling our time. We're still calling time Roman
right?
emperors.
Because we had people that came in history that had this big ego,
Yeah.
and they would think the world revolves around them.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that let's go biblical again. That it's
Mhm.
like, see, there's people coming into the world that say, "I'm bigger than God. I'm better
Mhm.
than God."
Yeah.
Who was the first one to do that?
Mhm.
Who? Satan. And we seen what happened to him. So
I feel you.
So there's a lot of that's what I'm saying earlier. How it's like I see a lot of Satan's children in this world, and
Mhm.
they're still continuing. They're still pushing that evil, and
Yeah.
that's why it's time for us, the righteous children, to rise
I feel you.
and to become aware of who we are and what our purpose is. Because there's a saying that says, in order for evil to succeed, good men have to sit around and do nothing.
Mhm.
And it's time for us to get up and I'm talking to all y'all because I'm looking straight at you.
I feel you.
Is stop sitting around and waiting for somebody to come save you. It's time to rise up and get it done. We need to get the work done and do it ourselves. Um, but back to the calendar thing, um, even like it's obvious because like October is the 10th month,
Yeah.
but like octopus,
It's 8.
octagon is the number 8.
Yeah.
And November, December, you're so right.
Even the days of the week, man. Today is Sunday, which we reference the sun. Then tomorrow's Moon Day, we reference
yeah.
the moon. And then Tuesday is for Mars.
There you go.
Turs, which is a Norse god, and then Wednesday, which is Odin. Thor, which is Thor. Thor is Thor.
Thursday.
And then Friday is Frigga, which is a Roman goddess.
Yes.
So we go from Norse to Roman to Greek. Our whole outlook on life is Greek, Norse, Roman. You know what I'm saying? Speaking English.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel you with the deprogramming.
The deprogramming goes deep. It goes deep, and it's something that people have to be very aware of. You may feel like you're like it's kind of like the Matrix where you going
Yeah.
and you're going down that rabbit hole and you're piercing through the fog. But that's what's gonna bring you the clarity.
Yeah.
We need clarity, and like how you gonna know where you're going if you don't know where you came from?
Yeah.
So you have to erase everything that has been programmed into us.
Yeah. And
And,
for me, or I try to at least know it's programming. So yeah, I'ma still call when I'm talking to people, I'ma still say it's Sunday.
Mhm.
And I know that this has been programming.
Correct.
Like I know tomorrow is the day we supposed to honor the moon, but I'm not gonna pray to the moon tomorrow.
Correct.
I know that Tuesday is a day to honor Mars and it's a Norse god, but I'm not gonna I'm gonna be conscious of this is programming and still try to exist in the matrix. 'Cause I had to go through that phase too. I'm
Mhm.
like, fuck the matrix.
Yeah.
Fuck calling it Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, everybody
Because
should go.
it feels like you're just continuing that spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I'm
It's
with you
like how
100%.
do you still live in this matrix and still know, okay, I'm not gonna let the conditioning I'm not gonna let this shape how I view reality.
But if you think about the movie The Matrix, which is a great film,
Yeah, I agree.
they they would plug out, but then they would plug right back in.
Exactly. But they plugging in knowing they in the matrix. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like that's my thing. Like,
exactly.
okay, I'm gonna plug in, but I know I'm plugging into the matrix. I'm not acting like, oh, this is real.
Yes, still aware of who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And I think that's the hardest part, but that's
mm,
the path is to say, okay, I have to work a 9 to 5. I have to
yes,
pay these bills.
yes,
I'm not going to just be a homeless bum. I'm
yes,
not. I'm going to have purpose. I'm going to make an impact. I want to have a cell phone. So I got to pay
right.
my Wi-Fi.
Because we're still in it.
We still in the matrix.
I love that. I don't know if you ever seen it. It's a social media video that goes, what gives a damn if the Earth is flat? I still got to pay these bills. I still got.
And I went down that rabbit hole too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the whole. Hey, biblically it says the four corners, the firmament.
Amen.
That's all in the Bible too. So that's funny because we bring these things up. People say, "Oh, that's crazy." Like I'm like, "That's what you do. You not read the book that you
But
going to church?"
you say that hey, listen,
But I'm not trying to hurt
that's a whole
nobody's
nother
feelings. Yeah.
that's a whole nother conversation of how people. I mean, to me, that's another layer of programming. Not to jump into it too much, but
Yeah.
to me, the way we are taught Christianity is programming.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, there'll be things that are in the book that how many of us are actually aware of in the book,
Mm-hmm.
and then also who taught us. The same people who told us this is Frigga's Day, and the
Yes.
same people who told us that this is Storage Day,
Yes.
it's the same people who are telling you how to read this book.
Yeah. What do they say? The winners of the war,
Spoils. The spoils of war goes to the winners,
but
right?
also they write the history.
Yeah, they read. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel that.
So of course they're gonna write it in a way that
Yeah,
benefits them, and we have to be aware of that. Like, hey, there's a reason why
yeah.
they tell us these things. Because I know this is another thing that's just getting deeper. Yeah, did they teach us that?
Uh-huh.
But that's not what they know. You see, we have people that are in secret societies,
Mhm.
and there's a Freemason lodge in every city. If you haven't realized that yet, you don't have your
And
eyes open.
how many of our pastors are Freemasons?
Freemasons, a lot of sheriffs are Freemasons.
How did them get 501(c)(3)s and get land?
You see, there's a lot of unknown things that we don't that people are not aware of, and it's like it's an unfair game. Because
Yeah.
another Bible verse that I love is our people perish for lack of knowledge,
Mhm.
and we're not aware of these things. We let alone to even know that there's things that we don't know that we don't know we don't know,
Man, man,
and
that's a bar. You
so
know, I feel like how is that we can say that you know there are people in the Bible who followed the stars and use the stars to navigate and listen to and
mm,
like was able to understand how the world works and create seasons, but yet we think the zodiac is evil. Like
mm,
I don't how can that be? How can we say the zodiac is evil, but yeah we like you said we have a calendar
yeah,
and like we looking at our time and we telling time, which is all the zodiac. So I feel like a lot of ways we've been taught, especially in the church, to view certain things are through like, oh, this is the devil, and then this is good. But then they'd be like, okay, wait, is this really good or is this the devil?
mhm,
And then is this really the devil or is this just things that help us like normal stuff. It is very nuanced for me when it comes to that, but definitely we still know internally our own compass,
yes,
and we definitely got to definitely. I'm adamant. We definitely got to tap in and read that book and get because there is so much in there that our
yeah,
spirit needs. You know what
oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? And how do we read it and not only let how he tell me what's in here to really be what's in here? How much of us are ourselves sitting down and going through this ourselves?
I want to add to that because my grandmother,
Mhm.
who rest her soul, is she was a pastor,
Uh-huh.
and she would always tell me, she's like, before you read your Bible, say a prayer and ask God to give you wisdom and understanding of what you're reading.
Uh-huh.
Don't just pick it up and start reading. It's like it's layers to the book. It's like some things you'll s- you'll pick up on that others don't see, and that's just God's spirit guiding you.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's something that a lot of people don't get taught in church, or
Uh-huh.
maybe they do. I'm not sure,
Uh-huh.
but that's one thing that I was taught
Uh-huh.
as a young child is, before you pick up that book, say a prayer,
Uh-huh.
make sure you meditate on it, you cleanse yourself, and then go into it. Have yourself a clear mind because a lot of things you won't really comprehend or overstand.
Mhm.
So it's important to have that meditation and prayer before you dive into it.
Yeah. And I think that this definitely is still on topic because we're talking about eating healthier, living healthier, and fixing our system. And a part of these systems is these things right here. And part of eating healthier, living healthier is having our spirit healthy, having
Yeah,
our
oh,
mind healthy,
definitely.
having our soul healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How and it's going to be a lot difficult to try to do all this community work if our spirit ain't right.
Amen to that.
So I feel you. Trust me. So I know you definitely, like you said, you're an advocate for the garden and for gardening
Yes.
and growing food. What part of your journey led you into, you know, community gardens and things of that nature?
Right. So after years of knowing about Dr. Sebi
Uh-huh.
and, everyone else, you know, I would go to like farmers markets and try to buy stuff from the store. And then one day I came across a video. I was like once again on YouTube.
Mm,
Um, I came across a video of a lady in Florida that she was talking about how she just went for a walk. She was an elder black lady, just went on her walk, her normal walks. And then one day she turned around and was like, "Hey, what's that over there?" And she noticed a community garden. So she walks in. Next thing you know, she's a member. Next thing you know, she's running the
mm,
community garden, and she fell in love with it.
mm,
But what really struck out to me about that video was how happy she was. Her aura was just shining. She was just so happy that that's something that came into her life
mhm,
that I was like, let me try this.
mm,
So, one day I'm at work. I had an office job at the time, and I was just like looking on. I have my work page open, then I had another tab open, looking up community gardens on Google Maps. And the first thing that popped up was a Compton community garden. I was like, Compton? Compton, really?
mhm,
I was like, so I'm like clicking through the pictures. I'm looking at the pictures. That's when without me knowing, I see pictures of yourself, a younger version of yourself in
uh-huh,
there. I see Dr. Ross in there.
uh-huh,
And I'm just like, okay, it's interesting. I didn't even look no further, honestly. I was like, okay, cool. That's close by. It's not that long of a drive. That weekend, I told myself, you know what? It's now or never. Let's go.
mhm,
So I hop in my car. I head out into the 91, exit Long Beach. And right there, the first thing I noticed is an elementary with
yeah, yeah,
a lion in a crown.
yeah,
I don't even know what that elementary is called or what I'm talking about.
uh-huh,
And I was like, that's a sign. That's a sign because like I said, I'm very like in tune with like God and all that. So I was like, that's a sign right there. As I keep going, I get into the garden and I'm like, nobody's here. The gates closed. I'm like, man, I guess it's not open today. So I'm getting in my car, ready to leave. That's when I see someone pull up, open the gate.
in my scooter,
Huh?
in my scooter.
It wasn't you.
Oh,
No, it wasn't you. It was actually Moses.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah.
somebody that I met there for the first time, and I think it was the last time I seen him there. But shout out to Moses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw him there opening the gate. I went to introduce myself. He's like, "Oh man," he's like, "Man, you came at a perfect time because I actually need some help setting up for an event today."
Yeah.
And I didn't have nobody to help me out. I'm by myself. He's like,
Mhm,
he specifically said this words to me. He's like, "Oh man, you came like an angel." And I was like, it made me feel real happy to hear that. I was like, "Oh, all right, like that's good to hear." And the event that we were setting up for was called the Lionsgate
uh-huh.
event, which is an annual celestial event.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It happens in
It's
August,
like a 8 type of thing. Yeah, 8,
and
8.
the year was 2021, August 7th, I believe, because I went through my history on my pictures and I found it. Um, and so yeah, I'm setting up, and the more people that came, I had a little feeling like, oh, they're gonna be like, oh, who's this guy?
Mhm,
But the more people that came, everybody was super dope, super cool, super friendly, and just real welcoming, and Moses kept saying, "Oh, he came, he's helping us out, he's doing this."
mhm,
Because I was putting in work. I was like sweeping, putting that away, this away, and they're all happy. They were like, "Yeah, yeah, that's so cool." And then that's when you walked in. You came in, had the turban, looking like a king. It was shining when you walked in. I was like, "Oh, damn, who this over here?"
Mhm.
You came in looking fresh and introduced yourself. You were very kind. You were very welcoming. Um, yes, and I really appreciate you for that. I'm really grateful that I met you, became a friends, and
Likewise.
and so the I finished cleaning that day or setting up, and then I was like, "Cool, I'm out of here." They're like, "What? No, you got to come back. You got to come back for the party. What you
Yeah,
mean you out of
yeah,
here?"
yeah, yeah.
They're like, "The party's gonna start like around like 5, I think." And then I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." So I go home. I'm excited. I'm full of energy. That was the first time I actually like did some work, and I feel charged. Usually, you're like, oh, "I'm tired." Nah, I felt super charged. Did some work. Came back that night, and it was a great event. We had a lot of live speakers.
Yeah.
I think you reminded me of that event. It was
It's like a spoken word event then.
spoken word event.
Yeah.
Yes, it had a lot of like activists coming in. Great vibes. There was music. It was all around a good time, and I just fell in love with the garden. I just fell in love. I felt like I finally met my peoples, my tribe, and it was just all around a good time.
It was.
And I still go to this very day.
Right.
I love the environment and all the people that I meet that I have met there and continue to meet there.
Yeah. So for somebody who has never grown food or feels like the world isn't for them, what's the easiest way you think to get started and to show up? Like how would you recommend people to show up?
For one, if you've never had any experience with growing food at all, I would suggest to do what I did and then just go on to Google Maps or even just Google and search your area code, your city, and see if you find any local community
Right.
gardens. Start there. Go volunteer, even just go watch. A lot of gardens, community gardens are very welcoming and
Mhm,
friendly. They'll help you out. They'll educate you. They'll give you a little, hands on, like,
mhm,
hey, you come with me, plant this, plant that. And, that's a great start right there. If you say, oh, I'm too busy, I don't have time to go drive here and be an hour here, uh, you can you go on YouTube, just TikTok. Just
mhm,
we're in 2026. There's many avenues to learn how to do a garden, and then just don't be afraid to start. A
mm,
lot of people think, "Oh, where am I gonna get this? Where am I gonna get that?" Delete that doubt from your mind. Have a positive mindset, and just start somewhere. Start somewhere, even if it's just growing herbs,
mhm,
even if it's just one little cup.
mhm,
And you get some dirt from somewhere and start somewhere, right? That will it'll trigger a spark in you and it'll get the momentum going.
mhm.
Like me, I recently just started I did a one raised bed not too long ago and I used ChatGPT to build it.
Mhm.
Hey, I learned that from reading your book, From the Block to the Table.
Oh,
Shout out to the
watch your table.
yeah.
That's what's up.
So I learned from that. I was like, hey, that's a great idea. I never even thought about it like that. And it helped me, what it helped me was with having to I put measurements of the spacing
Uh-huh.
and it calculated how much material I should buy without having any waste.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um so there's various tools you can use
Uh-huh.
to get started, and that's just my own experience of how I started. And I did one bed, and then a few days later, here comes the power of positivity in your mind. Because I do, like I said earlier, I do finished carpentry at work. They were like, "Hey, we got all this extra cedar wood. We just gonna throw away?" I was like, "Can I have it?"
Uh-huh.
They're like, "Take it."
Uh-huh.
I got all this material, and keep in mind that wood is not cheap.
Yeah, that's cedar. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
cedar.
it is good quality wood. I was able to build another raised bed,
Oh, that's what's up.
so I now have
That's
2,
what's up.
and then just help from the Compton Community Garden. I have people there helping me to give me, like, sources of where to buy,
Uh-huh.
like, buy starter plants
Yeah.
because you buy starter plants, where to get soil, uh, the process of how to actually do it, and, like, the mixture, the combination of the ratios of it.
Mhm.
So I would tell people to just start somewhere. start at the community gardens, find one locally, go on the internet,
Buy from buy to the table.
buy, yep, get you a copy. Uh, yeah, get you a copy. Definitely get you a copy. That's a great book. Honestly, that's a great book to get you started. It's a lot of resources, a lot of information. I highly suggest you go get that book.
What's up?
It'll definitely help you out. That's a great starting point right there.
Yeah.
Um, also, and keep a positive mindset. You may not know where you're going to end up,
Uh-huh.
but you definitely know where you're going to start. Start somewhere. So take that initiative and start. It's something that I deeply believe is important, especially in these times. I just recently went to the store. Guess how much one beet was? It was like $4. So yeah, definitely take that into consideration and start somewhere. You don't need a lot of space, and it's a fun activity if you have children. My son loves to go water the plants.
That's what's up.
So it's something that will definitely bring joy into your life. And I highly recommend people get started in doing that.
Definitely. I mean, I 100% agree. I definitely think it's the foundation of everything. Um, I definitely think everybody should go something.
Yeah,
Even if you don't do it forever, at least start the process, put something in the ground, because it makes an impact on your mental health, on your physical health, eating better, you're eating better quality food, you're seeing things grow, which is releasing endorphins, and you're getting tapped in, you're getting grounded, it's meditation. It's a full spiritual practice. So I think it's very much, something that I do think people should incorporate into their life, man.
no,
'Cause
definitely.
it sent me it went like you said, went from the same way where I'm learning all this information, I'm learning all this knowledge, I'm getting all these ideas and concepts from all these teachers, but then it's like, okay, you gotta tap in too. And I had to say, okay, let me start. I started with herbs. I grew rosemary, sage, mint, um, that's how I started. And I just was growing herbs. And then I started growing food at the Compton community garden. I started learning how to grow food. And then, like the lady, all of a sudden now I'm the executive director of the Compton community garden. And that was never the plan, but it just
Right.
it just happened like that. So shout out to the Compton community garden, man. They're always gonna be a part of my journey, part of my history, man. I always gonna have love for them over there. And I'm also gonna continue to encourage you, start your own community garden. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Start it somewhere, come together, come with your people, get some people together. Like you were saying, like this conversation before, like tap in with our own networks, and then we can, continue to work. We can tap in where our roots, but also move forward and expand, like Dr. Ross taught us. So
yeah.
I still want you to do that. You know what
You know,
I'm
it's funny you say that because
saying?
recently I've been following because I come from the city of Bellflower. That's where I live at currently, and I know I've been following the page, and not that long ago they posted they're giving out free compost.
Who, Bellflower?
Yeah, so I was like, that's the power of thinking positively and just see. A lot of us we're not. It's not in our mind, so it's not happening. This is mainly why secure the soil is important. We're planting the seeds in people's minds. You're seeing it happen in real time. We are the community. We are, your neighbors. We are, creating the future for the generations to come, and we're making it happen. The only thing that could stop us is us not doing it.
Mhm.
Other than that, ain't nothing can really stop it. This is nature. This is God's plan. This was they say, you can make your own plans, but God has bigger plans. This is God's bigger plan in action.
I feel that. I feel that. I'm just trying to stay. I'm trying to stay. Listening.
Mm,
Trying to say, okay, letting the plan unfold.
of course.
Letting God, like, okay, this is where I want to go, but okay, this is where you kind of reveal the path.
I'm the vessel. I'm the vessel.
Yeah. And speaking of what you were talking about, you are a husband and a father, and you are a working man. Um, do you feel like growing food and all the work you're doing, it helps you as a father and as a husband?
Most definitely.
Uh-huh.
Oh, most definitely. When you're, living a lifestyle that's healthy, it's definitely gonna resonate and from within come out. And when you're happy, you come home, your wife is happy because you're not stressed and angry from BS. You're not focused on the BS. That's one thing when you're on a purpose, when you're walking with purpose and you have a mission, you don't got time to focus on the BS. And yeah, things in life may stress you out, and you might have bad things at work, but knock all that. I got things to do,
Mhm.
you know, and uh, since this is something that I've been taking seriously a lot lately, it's definitely been a vibe change. It's like you notice the difference. I notice the difference within myself. I'm sure my wife notices it. You start getting more of a praise.
Mhm.
Your wife will see you and say, "That's right. Like my man is actually making a difference out here."
Mhm.
And trying to, even if it might, even to some people it may seem like, oh, you're not doing much, but hey, you're trying, and from that trying could inspire others, and then that's when it starts to grow.
Mhm.
And, as far as for me being a father, my son loves, like I said, he loves to be in the garden. Uh, I do this thing. It's called Pug. Uh, this is a push-up gang. It's something that we do. I learned from the Compton Run Club.
Uh-huh.
And so shout out to everybody in Pug. It's basically when we do push-ups, and we post it just to keep ourselves active and
Uh-huh.
moving. And, we've inspired a lot of people doing it. There's a lot of people that are like, hey, I want to be part of it. I want to
Yeah.
do that. And that's what it's about. Once you start doing something, other people, it's like the new cool thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you're growing your food. I want to grow my food.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes I tell people, hey, I want to grow food. And they look at it like it's kind of like weird. And it's like, but it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It should be normal.
They
You know?
planted the seed though.
Yes. So even my son, he'll come up to me like push ups,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, that's right, because I've been trying to get him to do it. He'll do it. He just throw his butt in the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the cutest thing. But no, definitely, it has improved my life, and the people around me see it. They feel it. Even like even sobriety. Like this lifestyle has made me become sober. I don't really, well, I wouldn't say I don't really, but I recently just like this year stopped drinking. Like I don't drink at all.
Mhm.
I don't smoke, and I just feel clear, better. And I know everybody has their own thing where, I know a lot of people that still drink and they're very successful, very
Mhm.
happy. So I'm not gonna knock anybody that does.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's not my whole purposes. I just know that everybody, when the time is right, you do what you do.
Yeah. But
Uh,
for you, it's you feel like
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
very
Speaking about myself, it's been like the best thing ever. I feel like sober is the best high.
uh-huh.
So it's definitely been helping me in my own life and the people around.
That's what's up, man. That's good to hear. So I think if more people started, growing food, started getting involved in community gardening, started getting involved in, healthy living, what you said, I do definitely agree. Like the work you're doing is a ripple effect of just
Mm.
getting people to just get involved. I think is something that is underappreciated. Is people like yourself who are just active, involved, pulling up, doing stuff, being an example, being a good, upstanding man, being a man of integrity and a man of character. If more people started getting involved in spaces like these spaces, what do you think change we could start seeing in our community?
Most definitely. I think that you know, if you go into any area, um, any space, I would say,
Mm,
if you walk into any space, you don't want to be the odd one out. So if you see more people doing good things, you would want to do good things too. But if you see everybody doing bad things, you're gonna want to be like, well, I don't want to be the only square.
mhm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mhm,
So if you see people doing like, oh, well, everybody's smoking weed, everybody's drinking, then I guess I gotta smoke weed and drink too.
mhm,
So I guess what I'm trying to do is, uh, create balance first, and then lean. Because we do need balance. It's always gonna be like the bad apples and whatever whatnot, but the plan really is 70-30. More of the good, because
mhm.
I feel like we too much of just too much toxicity, too much like I hear this thing where people say, "Oh, I got a toxica," or you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that, and I'm like, or people just glorify having a side chick or cheating,
Yeah.
and oh, I don't care about my baby mama, and all this is like, and it's like that shouldn't be normal.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
to me, I feel like that's not healthy, and that's like it creates that creates a ripple effect too. Like I feel media plays a role in that. They normalize it for us,
Mhm.
and so I guess my whole goal is to be a role model,
Mhm.
a leader, be a leader, role model, and to change the narrative
Mhm.
of what's dope because to me that's dope. That's cool
Mhm.
to do the right thing because it's hard. A lot of people think, oh, I like, oh, I'm hard doing this. I'm hard doing that's not hard. Try be try be sober. That's hard.
Mhm.
try not just downing sugar and try being clean for a while. Exercise. That's hard.
Uh,
Getting up early. That's hard. Going to work. That's hard.
yeah.
Those things should be looked upon like, yeah, you need an award for that. You should be looked up to that. Not doing so much things that are detrimental to the community. Because
Yeah.
in the overall, we all got to live next to each other. We all got to come as one, united, and we can't be doing that if you're trying to come up and on your brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
and that's just not right. We need to unite and be together, and start loving yourself. That's very important. Love yourself, heal yourself. That's one of the things that I talk about a lot is that it starts with yourself and you have to get yourself right before you can go out in the world and talk about these things.
Yeah. I see. I see. Well, I said I think for me, like I told you before, I personally feel like you are one of the people, not only you personally, but the archetype of you, what you represent, what you stand for, how you conduct yourself, is the purpose of me creating this show, Secure the Soil, is to be able to go get the people with the information and watch out for that bee. You got
That's all good.
to
That's all good. We're just good.
um, but yeah, like I wanted to make sure that people like yourself who, like you say, your focus is on taking care of your family, showing up, being involved, being active. Like what I learned with Janet, like the policy work and the community organizing is for people like you. Like we have to go in these spaces and create the legislation so that way every day people who just, I'm not gonna say just, but who are focused on living their life and being upstanding can benefit from the policy,
Mm,
and we need to break down the barriers for people like you and remove all of the BS and create the laws, like you were saying, talking about earlier, where like, you know, something as little as the trash cans are changing, and it's like that affects real people, and I think from my vantage point, as much as we doing the policy and understanding the policy and legislation, all that stuff, it is extremely important that the people who we're doing it for and the people who we're saying this is why we're doing it also are informed about what's going on, but also are, you know, and a part of what's going on. We are representing you in these spaces, represent our community, our culture, our networks, our relationships. When we go in these spaces, and we need to be having people like you in mind, people like our farmers, people like our community members, who are people who are involved in the food system, because it's a whole system. You got our farmers, you got our general population, we got our activists, we got our advocates, we got our politicians, but we do all have to work together.
unite.
Yeah.
That's the unity.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was trying to get at earlier. If I wasn't making myself clear, but I just wanted to say that you guys are doing the work, but the community has to be ready.
Yeah.
But when it all comes together, people are not just lost in the sauce
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or reverting back to the old ways.
Man.
We have to become anew.
Yeah.
We have to change ourselves. That's where it goes back to the 3Ds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta cleanse yourself, come right. You can't come into the community with the BS. Uh, w- can I add to this? There's a Bible verse that says, on earth as it is in heaven.
Mhm.
And to me, that means, how you gonna expect to get into God's mansion if you ain't right? And the mansion is a symbolism to the community.
Mhm.
Like you can't expect to come into the community if you're not right, you ain't cleanse yourself,
Uh-huh.
you still bringing all the BS with you. No, the community is gated
Uh-huh.
symbolically. This is all symbolically when I'm speaking. The community is gated and it's protecting the women, it's protecting the children. Women and children should not be afraid to go outside. You shouldn't be worried what your kids is going to do outside. They should feel safe, they should feel protected, and that's the healthy community that I am envisioning in the end role, in the
Mhm.
end game. That's what it's all really about.
Mhm.
And to some people, it might sound like a dream, but I believe we can make that come true.
That's, I mean, or else what's the whole point of doing everything?
Exactly.
You know?
We are the masters of this reality,
Yeah,
and we have the power to change it.
we do.
And don't let anybody tell you that you can't make a change because we can.
Okay. I agree, man. I think that's a great way to land the plane. We have the power, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then you tap into the source of the power to whatever, capacity we believe in. But definitely, I definitely think, definitely tap into our spiritual energy is vital to the work we're doing, and also learning from the elders, the ones who've come before us, the ones who paved the way, the ones who educated us and informed us of how to live healthy internally and how to create a healthier community. I do think I think for me, core lessons I'm walking away from this episode, man. Because I do think it's Sunday. It is important that we keep our spirit charged up. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? We keep our spirit, man, fed as we are trying to do this community work. And I do think it is really important to definitely take care of ourselves, take care of our family. You know, you can't go do all this stuff for the quote unquote community, but then your kids hate you and your
Mhm.
wife hates you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I do think that these are very core lessons and core principles that I think are they are very much a part of this greater conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you pulling up
Oh,
and
thank you.
coming
Thank you
with
for having me.
coming with these gems. Oh, my pleasure, man. You know, I respect you. I got a lot of love for you, bro. You know, very much, man. And like I said, you inspire me, you motivate me. And when I'm in these spaces, I'm thinking of you, people like yourself, of how can we make sure that us who come from urban environments, who come from hoods, how do we who are still trying to do right, how do we make sure we represented it and we get equity as well? You know what I'm saying, for our communities, and go bring things back to our families and our communities. So appreciate you, man. To secure the soil, people like Robert who want to make the earth a greener place,
Yes,
want
sir.
to help our system, who want to contribute to a healthier community. If there's more people like you who feel like you align with Robert, who say you want to support and the work that we're doing, who want to support and creating a healthier life, who want to support and fixing our food system, pull up. Let's have a good episode. Or you want to support, you can buy the book, you can donate, you can hit Rob up, help him create this community garden. His wife calling him right now. She's like, "Where you at?" You know what I'm saying? Much respect to her. Much respect to her, definitely, man. She's a great woman, man. You're a lucky man, fortunate man. You got a
Thank you.
beautiful
Thank you very
family.
much. Appreciate
It's
it.
great to
Much
see you. You know
appreciated.
what I'm saying?
Of
I
course.
love watching Robert in that element, man. Like I said, I'm not trying to make light of that. I have a lot of respect for that. It's just it's great to see, man. There's still good men who put their family first. You know what I'm saying? There's still good women who love their husband and take care of their family, man. So you are a model, you are inspiration, you're like a beacon of hope for a lot of us men out there who don't think these things are possible. You are showing that it is possible to care about your community, to care about your family, and be a good man, bro. And I
No.
don't want that to be uh lost. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I want that to be clear, man.
All right. Thank you so much again.
Uh,
Appreciate it. Thank you, bro. I
you
love you.
got any lasting words, man?
I just want to say I love y'all. Thank y'all for taking your time to listen. And we'll see you on the next one. Subscribe to Secure the Soil. And much love.
Peace.
Peace.
What's up? Boom.